It's the final hour of this session of Poker Time. If you've missed the last 3 episodes, they are pretty great, but we will catch you up anyway because we're good guys. Stewart is destroying everyone.
He has a chance. If he gets to 7,000, he'll for sure.
Oh my God,
be
7,000.
The biggest winner. The previous biggest winner is the Destroyer of Worlds.
It's like 5,500 will do it, man.
Yeah.
5,500 is all he needs. He's
at like 4.4.
I think higher. We'll know soon.
I think he's at 4.4.
By the way, VPip Joe calling with the Queen 6 off. If you just look at the corner of the 6, it can look like pocket queens.
But we know that's not the case because it's Joe and he plays all the hands.
I'm just saying. Pair for Stewart because Stewart wins everything right now. You see he's at $6,700 in front of him. It's pretty good.
A 3 brings 2 pair for Stewart.
Because Stewart wins everything.
Yep.
He's the new destroyer.
Yeah, that's different though.
He's the planet crusher.
It's a $5 holiday.
He is Stewie Younger.
And they can bet afterwards.
No money for Stewart, but he gets to win the pot with 7-3, so that's nice.
Don't get me wrong, but it's
Yep.
not, it's not me against you. I'm just sharing.
Stewart's sitting there like... By the way, the last episode we saw Stewart flop multiple sets and get very little value.
Yeah.
Just because people didn't have anything, and still he's up $1 gajillion.
A lot of that came from a hand from 2 episodes ago where Joseph had top pair and a flush draw. Decided to shove on the flop after 4-betting pre-flop, I think. Or was it
3-betting.
Just a
Just
really
3-bet.
really big 3-bet. But shoved like 4 times the pot on the flop when Stewart had slow played kings. And 50-50, and Stewart held.
Yep.
We could all just.
That was the beginning of Stewart's.
Stewart's gonna
That was
win.
5.5K of his. But he now has 6.7 in front of him. So
That's what happened when he sold his soul to whoever.
We're all playing for a second.
To whoever. I don't know. I don't
Playing
know.
for a second.
Yeah.
Whomever, I guess.
Clearly.
Whomever.
A lot of garbage in this hand so far. Can we just get through it, Levy?
I think so.
King 7, Jack 7. These guys are friends. Maybe not after this hand, though. Not if a 7 flops.
What if 2 sevens flop?
Then we're talking about more than a lack of
Then there'll
friendship.
be
We're
more
talking
friends.
about murder.
They'll be closer than ever. By the way, gutter for Stewart, and since Stewart always wins, Stewart's going to always win.
Yeah, because you can't really call as Jeremy on this board.
Even though they're pals, I don't see how Jeremy can call. And with a sigh, we call him the Badger? The Gopher? What do we call Jeremy?
The Steamboat.
Steamboat Jeremy?
Yeah.
It's a good name. You know why we call him that?
I don't want to say.
I'm going to say.
Don't say.
It's because
His parents might be watching.
His parents, I don't think would be upset about this. Maybe
Are we thinking about different
maybe
things?
we are. What he actually aspires to be is a steamboat captain.
Oh, yeah, that's
Steamboat Jeremy.
That's not what I'm talking about.
No. Oh. Huh. His dad is actually a tugboat captain.
Don't bring that up.
It's
It has
is
to
it
do
a
with
sore?
it has to do with the thing that
The nickname?
yeah.
Weird.
It's not good to talk
I don't know
about.
what's going on.
It's not okay.
Wonka continues to fly the flag of Germany. Turns out that's not Belgium. That is Germany on his shoulder.
Zach with ace jack suited. Will he raise?
He will
Of course
not.
not, because he literally has not raised. If we do PFR in this episode, pre-flop raise percentage, we will show a 1% or a 2% for Joe or for Zach, because he was forced to raise in a time when they did an orbit of blind 20. But
Yep.
that is not a true indication of his pre-flop raise percentage,
Yeah.
which is literally 0.
He is only limped or called. I guess he's only called. He has never, ever done anything
Not
but
a
call.
strategy I recommend. Joseph is going to call Joe's raise with ace 4 off, and Zach
Zach is
will
by
also
far
call.
the best of it.
Yep.
Let's see if he can realize that equity. By the way, VPip Joe getting in on the isolation game. And he flops pretty well.
He's the favorite to win this hand, that's for sure. Not only equity-wise, just game flow-wise. Looks like he's going to go for a relatively big bet here.
And away go his opponents. He shows the hearts.
Well played.
Now, when he shows the hearts, is he showing, do you think, in his mind, that he was bluffing or that he wasn't bluffing? Look,
I think
had
he's showing that he kind of had it, but also I think it's... At this point, it doesn't matter because people know he's loose, but in general, that would be a bit of a mistake to show, even if he was trying to say, I had it, because
Right.
he's showing that he raised with a hand that he can be 3-bet off of sometimes.
And to be clear, a jack high flush draw does not count as having it
No,
in real life,
it-
right?
Real life, yeah.
Yeah. But he had something.
Then I might dry ace and you have it, you know.
He had the worst hand. That's what he had.
He did. Third best, but he turned it into a gold medal winner. He climbed that podium.
Michael Phelps. That's
Zach,
his new nickname.
is Zach going to limp a race? He's going to limp.
I would have bet you on that one that time, but it's too late now.
Joe,
Legit-
what is happening?
Why did he raise the Jack 9 of hearts and now he's limping the tens?
It makes no sense. It's like such a good time to raise. Someone may come after you because you showed you just isolated with Jack 9 of hearts. Jeremy could reasonably raise here as well, but he's just going to...
Yeah, it's fine to just see a flop on the button here.
Sure. And we're going to see a six-way pot.
Not what you want with two tens.
Nope, not at all. And he does have to dodge aces, kings, and queens.
They should have an ace in this.
But jacks are just as clean as OxyClean.
Now available at your local supermarket.
Yeah.
OxyClean. No one has anything at all, so tens remain well in the lead. You see they've got 51% equity. Joe has to bet this.
It's kind of amazing to have 51% equity six ways
Yeah.
without having
With one pair.
without having flopped anything. Yeah.
Trust me, I've met a few of them. I mean, whether what they say is true or not, you know.
Guys go up, up, and away like Superman from the 40s.
You don't think he still does that?
Nope. It's a new Superman, a modern Superman. He's tweeting and doing selfies.
Yeah. Is it considered problematic to go up, up, and away now?
That's an interesting question.
Everything is considered problematic.
It feels like a lot of things are considered problematic, but I don't know. Maybe. I don't see how that
like a
would
lot
be
of your
problem.
behavior. And the things you say.
So I think I'm right on the line a lot. I'll give you that. I definitely will. I'll just let the listeners in a little behind the curtain type stuff. I do get reprimanded once in a while for things I say on this show. Just lightly reprimanded. Like maybe you shouldn't say that, or maybe don't talk about everyone's appearance, stuff like that. And that's a fair point.
Yeah.
But but is it okay to do like haircut rankings? Surely that's okay, right? Hairdo rankings.
In 2019, sure, but once we get to 2021,
it's true.
now we're in a problematic zone.
Times change.
You're not even allowed to have a haircut by 2023.
Now, did Joe
He just raised
to 20? He
to
looked
20.
at his hand though.
Yeah, this is not an agreed blind raise.
So
This is-
Joe raised with the Jack 9 of hearts, limped behind with the tens, and now is raising under the gun with 6-3 of spades. I'll give you this. It's hard to know what he has at any one moment. Joseph's going to re-raise small, it looks like. Really small with the Jack 7 suited, and I continue to be confused by everything.
You know that It's Always Sunny episode that people always use a meme where Charlie's trying to figure out what's going on in the office, and he's got like the red strings connecting all the different pictures, and he's kind of like talking crazy.
Oh, Pepe Sylvia, sure.
Yeah, Pepe Sylvia. Yeah, I feel like you could have somebody doing that with like Joe's hand selection.
I'm like, Carol! Yeah, absolutely. Pepe Sylvia.
So he limps the tens, and then the next hand he has 6-3 suited, and he min raises under the gun.
That is one of the great scenes in the last 20 years in television. The
Yes,
Pepe
it is.
Sylvia scene for sure.
Yes, it is.
There is no one named Pepe Sylvia. There's no one working at this office. All these people are real, and they're waiting for their mail. They're all complaining about it. Good stuff. All right, so we got 3 suited connector-ish type hands, and Zach flops pretty well.
Yeah,
He's got
the
a combo
combo.
draw. Straight draw as well. Joseph with the straight draw.
It's not such a good straight draw for Zach, but it is a straight
But
draw.
come on. You hit that 7. You feel pretty good about your life.
Feel all right.
You're losing to Jack 8. Whatever. Like, let's go. Zach should be betting this now that it's checked around.
Absolutely, he should. And he's
Checks
gonna check.
again. Why?
Zach is playing passively. Joe is gonna bet 6-3, and if Zach folds, I'm gonna freak out.
Joseph is double gutted, by the way. We were saying Joseph had a gut shot.
Oh, yeah, you're
Joseph
right.
flopped double, and
Yeah.
chose not to bet that either.
He should probably call.
Nothing makes sense. Up is down, black is white. Joseph is gonna have to not fold though, right? For $80 in this pot, he might put in a raise, I guess.
A raise is not crazy, although it
It's a
doesn't.
weird story.
It's not a good story. It's a terrible story, but
But it looks
sometimes it doesn't matter if the story's terrible.
Like this is a good case where it's not.
Now
it's not
Zach's
matter.
gonna fold, and now Joe, of course, is gonna fold unless he decides, I don't like the story. I'm gonna make it 900.
We have seen Joe make some interesting raises,
That would be cool to see,
Post-flop,
but no.
I don't blame him for folding here.
Yeah.
I don't really know what Joseph's supposed to have that he would play this way. This goes back to the story. Queen Jack once in a while, maybe.
Maybe.
And when Joe bets, he's like, "Oh, I can get trip kings. I can get full
He's
max
saying he
value
wouldn't
from,
have bet top pair or a set or 2 pair on the flop.
or a straight on the flop." I mean,
It's a bit of a stretch, but sometimes, like I said, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, I'm saying if Joseph has Queen Jack, Joe wouldn't have bet that because Joseph was the 3-better pre-flop, right? So they would have checked to Joseph a lot of the time. And then
Yeah.
but if Joseph flopped a straight, we're saying he wouldn't bet it. Seems hard to believe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Next hand.
'Cause he said-
Carol.
Bump pop.
Carol. Yeah. Ironically enough, Carol's the name of our new intern.
I've never heard of a
Yeah.
bomb pot.
R.I.P. to Betsy and
Yeah.
Samantha. We finally we cordoned off the car.
Guardrail.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Bomb pot's been cracked.
In retrospect, it was probably not a good idea to have the food, the table with the food right there, right by the very edge of the cliff
Here's
when
the
they get
thing:
us
it's
the.
kind of a way to wean out the people who are doing things they're not
Yeah.
supposed to be doing, because the food is not for the interns.
Right, but if they're getting
The
it,
food
for
is
us,
not for the interns.
we do, in fairness, have them get it, bring it to us.
Yeah, but they shouldn't be that close to the food at any time. They should use one of those extender arms because we don't want them sneezing on our food.
That's true. I don't want that either.
Final level or something.
You know, a lot of people say you should feed your interns, but I like them hungry and full of, vim and vigor, not full of,
Yeah.
calories and food.
Yeah,
That's our food, as you're saying.
so they can die from the cliff, they can die from starvation, and those are ways to weed out the weak.
Exactly. You got to be alert enough not to fall off the cliff
Yeah.
and strong enough not to die of malnutrition.
Well, I guess you're.
In fairness, there is water
I know it.
No, okay.
4 days a week available to them.
Yeah.
And if they just ration that out correctly, they'll be fine.
Yeah, that's called math.
Yeah.
And
Because
that's
you can
important.
go for 3 days without dying, 3 full days
Yeah, well, that's
without
it. Yeah,
water,
hold on, so there
and
you
still
go.
be alive. So if you just ration out,
Anyway, Stuart's got the hockey sticks.
nice. The walking
Oh, his
sticks.
Twitter.
Zach's got big slick, and he's just gonna call. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess he's gonna call. Yeah.
All
that's-
right, Joe's going to call with Jack 8, also
Did
known
Zach
as...
lose a bet? Like
No.
what? This is getting absurd.
It is absurd. It's unusual. It's non-standard in every way.
Somebody likes and they follow.
He's just down a little bit for the session, though. He's not getting overly punished for this strategy. I will say
Sure.
that.
I see, 1.1.
Just feels like sometimes you should raise, and
Hey,
that
full house.
is quite a flop for Stewie Younger.
Stuart never loses a pot,
Yes.
is what's going on. He just always has it,
And
always.
he's gonna
This is
check.
crazy.
He's gonna check because he has just so much. Oh, this
Uh-oh.
is bad news for Zach.
Zach has a
But what? Trust me.
super under-repped ace-king here.
Everything
Yep.
is daily game.
Now, there's only $115 in the pot. That's the good news for Zach. He shouldn't have to lose that much.
Oh, because we know he's not gonna raise, right?
I mean, does he ever raise?
Actually, he does post flop sometimes.
Yes.
He raises post flop it with top pair, no kicker.
So this time, at least, I'm not saying he's going to raise here, although he is reaching
He
for
likes
big
to
chips.
raise.
At least he's got top.
So
This isn't
basically,
the worst time ever to raise.
It's not. I mean, you can get called by king queen in hands like that.
No, that's just.
But Zach just seems to never raise pre-flop and then raise post-flop with hands that I don't really want him to raise with. This one is not crazy.
This one is okay comparatively, at least. He can also have Stuart can have draws. Stuart, of course, is like
What a joy.
loving life here.
What
Stuart's like,
a joy.
How do I get the rest of it? Is Stuart's question.
He's probably recognized that Zach has shown down hands where he raises one pair. So he thinks he's probably putting Zach on a king.
Well, he's hoping Zach has a 6. Figures he's always getting. Well, not always. There's 2 flush draws out there, but he often gets all of Zach's chips if he has a 6, no matter how he plays it, right? So the question is, how do you get it from the other hands?
You beatboxer?
How do you get it from spades and diamonds and a king and stuff like that? And the answer might be to just call here.
I don't think Zach has spades or diamonds. I don't think he's raising those hands based on how we've seen him play.
So if it's just a king, is he folding if we were to put in a raise? It's hard to know.
it's
I think
really hard to know. I think calling is probably the right play.
But half the deck is going to scare Zach.
I
isn't
know
it?
it's kind of tough to know what to do in
Maybe,
that spot.
maybe a re-raise is better. That is the dream card, though.
It's a great card for Stuart. He's going to check it.
He's going to have a great opportunity.
Zach
to
is
get.
forced to bet here, and of course Stuart's going to just move him in.
Of course he is.
Take his time. Take a little time before doing it.
This is really problematic for Zach because Stuart's going to move him in. I don't really see Zach's folding, but Zach's the guy who has a lot of 6s, and so Stuart would actually not be moving him in, I don't think, with a hand like ace-king. I think he'd just be calling.
Yeah, I don't think Stuart would be bluffing either with a hand like
No way.
8-10 of diamonds or something.
Stuart is going to raise, and he's just always going to have it.
Yeah.
Here it goes. Like, what's the worst hand Stuart has? He's got a full house always, right? I understand why Zach calls here.
Raising us.
It's not crazy, but he's just always beat.
Nice hand.
Now. Ooh,
Well,
ace king.
You kind of cursed Zach there, didn't you? You said, "Oh, he's not down that much despite never raising pre-flop."
It's true, and now he is. Now, he was probably going to lose this pot no matter what. and possibly go broke no matter what on this pot.
Well,
But
that one might make Stewart the all-time biggest winner in a session of poker
he
time.
is currently the biggest winner, I think.
Does anybody have chips?
He's just got to survive the next 40 or so minutes.
Probably up there, bud.
Wow, 8,000 now in front of Stewart. I think he bought in for at most 2.
1,500 maybe.
Might have been 15. We have to go back and
Just the
look.
board is all.
We'll get cumulative winnings
Yeah, we
put
got
up
time.
at some point, so we'll be able to
Just about the
see
board.
exactly how he's doing. But everything just keeps coming up. Roses for Stewie Younger right now.
It's tough to find a time when somebody runs this good for 4 straight hours.
I agree. Like the amount of sets and 2 pair and holding with the kings against the queen 9 suited when
Yeah.
it was 50-50, all that kind
that
of
was
stuff.
that was the big one right there.
That was the big one, but still, like, all the things have worked. Now, he still has an hour to have it all fall apart.
40 minutes.
Okay. We've seen it before. Kevin, at one point, was the all-time winner on Poker Time
Kevin
with
and
about...
Stewart are very different
I'm
players.
just
Kevin,
saying, with about 55 minutes to go, Kevin was the all-time leader in money, and he ended up... I think he was still up by the end, but barely.
Kevin is the opposite of Zach. His PFR is maybe 105.
He does play a lot of hands. Joe just called on the button with 7-4 off because we are who we are.
Yes.
We can't deny our nature. It's the scorpion and the frog all over again.
Have my food?
Whole table.
That's a good nickname for VPip Joe, right? The scorpion and the frog.
It's too long.
No.
By the way, VPip Joe is an incredible name.
It's the
Why would
greatest
we-
name.
Why would we change it?
A little something for everyone here.
Yep.
Back doors for Jeremy as well as middle pair. I like his check.
Joe checks the bottom pair.
Joe could bet that, but Alexa check. Reasonable. And
There's a backdoor for Jeremy coming in and also for Sam.
Yep. Both these guys pick up a straight draw. Sam has the best of it. Can't imagine Jeremy's just going to throw it away yet for 55.
No, he's. I
But
mean,
he can't
Joe,
love it
Joe
either.
being behind is not ideal, but it's also not that
Whoa,
bad. But
Jeremy.
Jeremy taking the conservative route.
Jeremy's made some right-on folds today.
Yeah.
Against Sam both
Against
times.
Sam, yeah.
Maybe he has a read on Sam.
Perhaps.
I would expect Jeremy's usually calling there after checking and picking up a straight draw as well,
That is
but
the most treacherous route possible to get in.
he had no problem folding that.
I mean, there's already, yeah.
I feel like it's a lot
We've seen
more
Sam
obstacle
have
course than it used
some
to be.
I
Like
think
these
that's-
some
I
bluffs in
think
his
you're
range,
These efforts
obviously,
to make
throughout
it-
the session.
Yeah,
So
but, you know,
Yeah.
like,
it doesn't mean
you
that
have less
he's
than
always got it. You know.
That's true.
Right, and yet Jeremy's 2 for 2 on that. He's folded twice spots where I don't think I would really consider folding. He's folded quickly and easily and been right both times. Both times against Sam.
That was
Both times on the turn.
Thank
I
you.
didn't think I'd ever.
Someone get
Never
that
used that word
that
to
kid
describe
some
anything
product
so
though. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, all-seeing eye of the state.
Like-
Product.
Yeah. Some Aveda.
I'm not a hair product guy.
Oh, okay. I encourage everyone to look at our videos with
person
Grant when
fighting
Grant's on
Jonathan.
screen. Look at his hair and tell me he's not a hair product guy.
Please.
Wow.
Please do.
Yeah.
You guys,
You're not a hair product
I have
guy.
not used hair
The person
products
fighting against
since
Jonathan.
high school. I
That's
think.
the answer.
taking it.
Except when I
like
go.
Oh,
Ad-lib.
so you used hair product in
the
high
fight.
school. So which is it, Grant? You just said you were not
So
a
are
hair
you saying
product guy.
our videos were shot when I was in high school?
Are you saying you're not a hair product guy or you are a hair product
Not
guy?
a hair product.
But you
guy.
used hair product in high school. So were you lying then or are you lying now?
It's to voice over the video that you're going to be on.
That's one of my classic moves.
I absolutely despise you.
Welcome to Poker Time, everybody.
And
Great
Zach
to have you.
is back, and he's got 2 6s. He did not
Oh,
raise.
yeah. Zach does have the best hand, but this is a brutal board.
Joseph's gonna win if he
Anything
wants
bad
to.
about
Joseph
Jonathan.
wants to.
So is Joseph.
This is the problem with playing so passively is it's just not that many flops that really agree with you.
I mean, Stewart probably would have still won a lot of money this session had he never raised pre-flop, based on the way his hands have been going.
That's true.
But not as much as he has won.
Did I suck out?
I mean, he was passive with the kings, which was his big winner.
That's
He
true.
was completely passive, but
What? That's a flip.
that was
No. It's a flip.
What was the
We haven't seen Zach get aces or kings yet. I wonder what would happen if he got those pre-flop. I'd like to know. Would he raise?
Karma is not allowing him to get. We haven't actually seen him get any really big. I guess we saw him get ace king twice in this session, and he has not raised with
At
either
this
one, of
point,
course.
if I had noticed Zach's pre-flop proclivities, I might fold a lot of hands if he raises.
Yeah, I think
Like,
that's
that's
wise.
maybe just aces.
Well,
maybe?
no, I mean you call with all your speculative hands.
Yeah, you call with pairs and stuff.
Yeah, but ace jack off.
Yeah,
is
easy
not
fold.
a great, not a great spot.
You made a very good call. You know.
I mean, maybe you call and hope to flop exactly an ace.
There's
right?
Zach limping in the ace-8. Just a hand that I feel like shouldn't be played, and if you're playing it, play it as a raise.
Okay.
Wheels got jacks.
Jeremy won a big pot with Queen 3 of clubs in the beginning of this session when he was up against Kings for wheel. He turned to flush.
27.
Yeah, I used to have one.
Zach. Ooh, this is a dangerous flop.
Things are not turning up Zach. It's kind of the opposite of Stewart.
Who gets hacked?
If I like,
Is he going to raise? We've seen him raise with top pair
Ooh.
before plenty of times.
I hope not.
they got.
Looks like just a call. All right.
Good job.
Saving a little money so far.
It wouldn't be absolutely crazy to raise, but
I'm not kidding.
That's another bad card for Zach.
I don't see how Zach can fold on the turn, especially against wheel.
They had to shut it down.
No. Hey,
150
I
feels like
believe
just a
it.
super straightforward call.
Yep.
No, trust me, I do.
The game
Does Zach be thinking about a raise now?
half a dozen followers.
Nope.
Looks like a call.
I'll take that under.
855 back for wheel. That is not a card Zach wanted to see, but still not so bad.
Unlikely to have improved. And Wheel just checks it back.
I'm surprised with the 2 3s on the board specifically. There's not too much to be afraid of.
No,
The
Zach.
2 pairs are not an issue.
No, they're not.
Could you? Oh, I
Feels
see.
like a pretty
Okay.
straightforward bet.
It does.
9-10. I guess 9-10 isn't really.
It's
there.
possible Zach would have folded anyway.
Yeah. You bet 300 on the river, he probably folds.
Yeah.
Top pair on the flop.
Were your friends
Still,
just like, man?
I think Wheel's supposed to try and get some value there. Although he's probably played with Zach a lot more than we
Very
have
fluid,
anyway, because
very
I don't think I ever
fluid.
have. And maybe he knows that on the river,
I don't know if they were.
like if Zach maybe is going to slow play a 3 all the way, kind of a thing.
You actually did say something.
I don't know.
I don't know. Zach might. We don't know what he does with big hands. He hasn't had big hands post flop.
The biggest hand he had was the Ace King, where he got
Actually,
stacked
he
against Stewart.
did have a set in the first episode against Joe, and he did not slow play. He bet
Oh, yeah.
really big. Joe had an open ender and actually
Oh
folded.
yeah, that's true. That was on the turn he bet big, right?
I think it was the flop.
That is not at all.
I could be wrong though.
I just stay away from all that.
I'm just telling the story of why I don't have Twitter. Okay.
Go with,
Keep digging a hole.
Did you see how they got in our conversation? I mean, I thought we were having a little conversation
You
over
and I were
here.
just over here spin games.
6 and 7. All of a sudden,
Sam feels like isolating Joe at all times. It seems he's now going to 3-bet the 7-8 off.
Sam's had a very clear strategy of isolating both Joe and Zach,
Yep.
and it's worked out pretty well overall.
Yeah, he lost a bunch of money in a pot against Wonka, a bomb pot where he tried to bluff Wonka off of
Oh,
trips.
yeah.
It did not work out.
Lost a solid
Otherwise,
$1,000.
Sam would be having a pretty good session.
Jeremy was thinking about making a move there with the 9-7 of hearts. Turns out it wouldn't have been a good time. It was looking pretty good up until Joseph had kings. And Joseph is going to looks like just
call, which is kind of perfect. Even though I don't know,
I like it.
It's cool to do. It sucks to go 3 ways.
Sucks to be out of position, but I still kind of like it based on all the dynamics of this table. Really sneaky.
Well, there is
Not
only
the-
one heart that is in Sam's hand.
Not the greatest flop for anybody. Joseph's like, really? I guess it's better than an ace, but geez.
Well,
Joe's got the
depends.
gutter. Sam checks. Oh, the king of diamonds would just be a disaster, but
It's
doesn't
an
well.
8 for Sam.
Sam may think if everyone checks to Sam, but Joseph's surely going to bet now, right?
Joe has a double gutter now.
There's a lot going on in this hand.
Joe's going to bet his double gutter. Sam has the 8 high flush draw to go with his pair of 8s.
It's not that good, but maybe it's enough.
I guess. Sam thinks so.
decides
He's
it's
seen
enough.
Joe bluff a lot, I guess, and Joseph might just have nothing.
Joseph obviously cannot fold, I don't think, for 100 on this board in this spot.
No, getting 4.6 to 1, but it is,
Precarious?
yeah.
Is
It
he-
looks like he's going to,
No.
it looks foldy, but no, he's going to call. All right.
Whoa.
Oh, he raises.
Wow.
That is curious.
Wow, wow, wow. I don't know if he's bluffing or valuing or what he's doing. I guess he thinks he's ahead of Sam almost always, and he decided he was ahead of Joe too.
As it stands, it's perfect.
Yep. Sam probably just has to throw this away, but it's pretty good. He's going to really get rid of some equity here.
I mean, Sam could be drawing dead pretty easily.
Absolutely. Sam may be thinking, though, he's up against a lot of like naked ace of hearts, and he's actually winning with an 8.
Well, he decides the price is good enough to check it out.
Sam is in position, which helps a little bit too.
And there's
Wow.
the ace of hearts, the worst card in the deck for Joseph, and
Yeah.
Sam has the best hand. Can Sam bet for value? I don't know.
Sam's like, wait, how is the ace of hearts there? You're supposed to have the ace of hearts.
So now he's putting Joseph on 2 pair or a set or something.
Or a flush. He could just have a flush.
Yeah, just a made flush.
Royal. King down of hearts.
Sam is gonna bet the 8 of hearts.
Really? This can't be a bluff, can it?
No, this is a value bet.
Chopping to the river.
Wow. He's trying to get called by a set, right?
Yeah.
Sam. You look at the board I'm talking to. The board's not talking to, it's me. I think we're chopping to the river.
Thinks they were chopping.
Well, that
What do I think?
We had kings?
And we're back from that incredible commercial to see that Stewart is up 5.8K.
It is the current record holding amount, but it ain't over yet. Things change fast. You see both Joe and Wheel and Zach and Joseph are really just...
Giving their money to Stewart.
Jeremy and Wonka are also beneficiaries. Sam's just been sitting around watching stuff go by.
Oh, he's actually been up and down quite a bit.
He has.
No, I'm saying whatever.
Zach with the 7-3 off. It's not good enough for him. Joe with the 8-3 suited. I don't know. It feels like
It's definitely
V.
good
Pippin
enough.
time, baby.
It's definitely good enough.
I want to make a movie called V. Pippin. It'll be a porn.
Sounds good. All right, Sam's going to have ace-king.
Oh, no, that's what I was saying.
Raise it up.
You think you know?
Wheel just
Wheel
folds
just
6-5
folds the
suited.
That is surprising.
Is he so short? Is that why?
He's not that short anymore. He rebought.
That's a strange fold. Surprising fold.
If you're ever in doubt about anything, ask Will.
What's Joseph thinking about
I
here?
have no idea.
Just taking his time, I
I
guess.
caught him the other day at like 3:15 in the morning. You know, seriously.
Wonka 5-3 suited. That's way good enough.
Yep. Put in the money. He might decide to raise because Sam's been isolating so much against Joe and Zach. Looks like he might do it. Nope, that looks more like a call.
What cards with the 7 of spades?
Little does he know that Joe has him crushed.
Watch out for a 3. That 3 on the board is not going to be your friend, Wonka. Frickin' Wonka.
That guy.
Ugh. Punch him in the face one time.
All the time.
And
2 kings. That's a good flop for Sam. Nobody else has anything, though.
Wonka's got 2 back doors, but they're weak. Sam could decide to check, give everyone a chance to catch up, but
He does have the board completely destroyed, and there's no draws. It's a reasonable time to check. It's not crazy to bet, though.
I mean, if anyone has a king, though, he can get 3 streets. And
Yeah.
you hate to miss out on that.
He will be missing out on the 3 streets.
Yeah.
Maybe he. Wow. So, can he raise his hand?
What price do you have to be laid? If asked, will Zach raise before the end of poker time this session? The session,
Ooh, we're running out of time here.
Yeah.
25 minutes to go. I will take, I'll say yes at 5-1.
No, I'm not over
My
here
1 to
pushing
your
myself.
5. Any denomination of that.
you got it.
Okay, how much are we doing?
Let's just do $1 to $5.
Damn
I don't want to hurt anybody here.
All right, that's fair.
It's
All
the
right,
hardest hit the
I'll
river.
happily take your $5.
You think Zach's gonna raise?
I think he's gonna feel some centaur blood within his system, and he's gonna feel a reason. He's gonna get mad. You know what I mean? He's gonna get angry. I'm willing to lose $1. Is what I'm saying.
chosen Spazzy Bluff hand.
No, I don't.
Sam opening up the ace-7 of
To
clubs.
show that card is super curious. I like when you show that card.
Jeremy with a nice hand.
Really nice.
It's always fun to see this hand.
So why you would call it raising those?
Such an enjoyable moment.
So like, it's such an obvious like, oh, I'm always playing this.
Well, it kind of sucks if like you're short stacked in a tournament and you've
Oh,
been
sure.
card dead and then there's like a 3-bet before it gets to you and you
Of
have the
course.
hand. But other
Then
than
you have to fold.
Other than that, it's pretty good.
I'm only on like level 1.5. I mean, and maybe I'm still on
Get
level
two
1.
cards, and I just look at
Joseph is called with an unknown hand, and Sam
It's like 0.7.
has called as well, I believe. Or no, he.
We're at the same.
who's
Same was the
raiser.
original razor. Good flop for Jeremy.
Yeah,
We don't know what Joseph has. It could be a lot of things.
it could.
I'd expect Jeremy to start betting right away. But
Once
he
Sam
doesn't.
Sam checked, yeah. I mean, it is deceptive not to bet a flush draw.
He has overs as well.
40.
That's 40.
Joseph is going to bet. And now the question for Jeremy is to raise or to call because he's obviously never throwing it away.
I think he's just gonna call. It's really not a crazy time to raise though, when Joseph could just be taking a stab.
Yep. It's okay to win now. You got king high. And there's lots of boards that run out where you just end up losing the pot.
This might be one of them.
Yeah. We'll see if Joseph keeps firing. 6-7 just got there, of course.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Joseph could have so many things here.
I think Joseph actually has something.
240. He bets 240
Wow.
into 200. This should get
What
it done.
a weird
this should
spot.
this should fold Jeremy's hand out.
Jeremy's like, I wish I had bet the flop.
Although maybe he just loses more money that way. Who knows?
Maybe.
I don't think Joseph has a full house. I don't think he would bet this much with a full house.
Could he have 6-7 though?
I think he could have 6-7.
Okay, well, he could have a 4 and he could have 6-7. He could have pocket 8s, which is a hand we wouldn't mind him having, of course, and Jeremy just
Let's
priced
it
out.
go, and we're never gonna know unless Joseph shows it right here.
Oh, Joseph, we got to know. Joseph, yes! Show us the
Some camera move.
9-7.
9-7.
Oh, my
poker.
goodness.
Oh, I'm playing.
That hurts.
Ouch.
Joseph really sized up. He did pick up some equity on the turn,
Crashed.
and he blocked the nuts.
All you armchair quarterbacks out there who think it's so easy to play. When you don't see Joseph's hand, you're like, it's easy fold.
Yeah.
240. Look at you. You're an idiot.
Who are you talking to?
The armchair quarterback.
Okay.
Like us.
You're looking right at me when
Yeah,
you said
no,
it.
I'm definitely looking at you. Still happening.
I'm not an armchair quarterback.
No, there's no arms.
What is an armchair?
There is no arms on your
A
chair.
chair for your arms? That's so stupid. One chair can be for everything. The whole body. Anyone who... Oh, I got an ankle chair because my ankle could use a little, I can't put it on the ground. What kind of people are you? I hate them.
Jeremy's got the sailboats.
I think it's better.
That's what they call them.
Yeah, let's get back to naming hands. I feel like we missed out on some of the gloriousness. Queen for Joe.
Yeah, that's a Stapes reference.
Yep, it's a good one. Joe's certainly going to call. And
You know, Shane,
no new names,
no pair. Never.
but a lot of excitement.
Let's name the flops.
Oh,
Quasidu.
sure. That's an easy one to remember.
Yeah, and Joe has a good hand.
Jeremy will continue.
Just equity protection, but that's not going to work out.
Nope. Not yet.
Looks like he's going to get raised right away.
Is that? Nope. I
That's
think
not a
a
legal
call.
raise.
There we go. Okay.
It is a raise.
I thought he had said call and just tried to throw in trying to get change or something, but you're right. It's a click back raise.
Weird spot for fours, but I think he should just get rid of
His
it.
hand is pretty bad and has
Move on.
little chance to improve.
This is where pride can come in. Where you're
Yep.
just like, he min raised me. I can't let him do that. I can't let him just win with a min raise.
I sometimes talk myself into when I get raised. I'm like, the price is just too good to fold this hand. Like,
Oh yeah,
maybe
you're
later.
the ultimate talk yourself into the price guy.
Yeah.
flying out pretty early.
It works out sometimes. Jeremy picks up a gutter.
That's a pretty good
Now
turn
we,
card.
we just tripled our outs. It's Jeremy. Come on.
So it's great.
Vegas for the weekend.
I dare you to bet again, Joe.
You stupid
VPIP Joe.
guy.
Why don't you get back on the ski lift,
Buddies out there.
Joe?
So we're gonna
Ski
meet up
lift?
some people
Yeah,
Oh,
who camp
ski lift Joe.
uh,
Remember that's what we're calling him
Saturday?
because in the beginning
I never called him.
he was
I know,
his
weirdly
VPIP was
enough. And then- but I'm also
going down.
kinda playing
Yeah,
some
like on a
taking
ski
the
lift
ski
where you go
down.
down. Is it,
He's
you're-
taking him up. He needed the ski lift to take. I don't know. There was a reason. Who can remember?
It's like a
I've gone
5
down
minute
on a ski lift before.
Jeremy getting 3-1, picks up the gutter.
He could raise.
with friends,
It's
like,
weird
so
to
at
fold
one
right
point,
now when you triple your outs in position. He is
really-
going to call. And the question, I mean, he is beating flush draws even though he blocks that a
And
little
it's
bit.
Joe. Joe could have a lot of things.
Yeah. Joe probably not going to bet again unless he improves.
Yeah, you get it.
It's a combination of
I really like a check from Joe here more than a bet.
If Joe checks and you're Jeremy and you decide your hand's not good enough, your bluff has to be like more than pot, I think. Because when people take the line that Joe took and then check the river, they're not going to fold their showdownable hands for a normal size bet.
I think Jeremy would check back and hope that he's beating hearts.
I think so too. I was just, postulating. Anyway,
Here's a weird spot for Jeremy. Look how cheap it is. Getting a great price. But why? Why?
that's what you must always ask yourself.
Yeah, you can level yourself into anything though, can't you?
I sure
That's just
can.
called
Jeremy does block
this
hearts.
is called
Joe is
being
triple
homeless.
barreled and not giving up. We see Joe give up a lot. He rarely will triple barrel a bluff.
Yeah. Just below Hoover Dam.
Yeah, that's a
And
tough spot.
at some,
He throws in the
there's-
time bank.
It's possible Jeremy
there's a
should have
bunch
just
of
folded on the
natural
flop, but
hot springs
as
in that
played,
area,
now that we're
and it's
here,
pretty.
what do you think?
And it's right on the Colorado
I think it's a
River,
fold. I think
so it's a pretty cool spot.
I think even though the price is good and it is Joe, I'm a little bit wary of how good the price is.
Yeah.
Joe seems like the type who might bet a little bigger if he's bluffing.
I've seen him bluff for smaller amounts. I
Have
will
you?
say. I've
Okay.
played with him and he's definitely bluffed small.
Oh,
But
okay.
he usually didn't. But if he
it
didn't
like
triple
a lake
barrel,
at that
he
point,
took
or-
a street off in the middle. Like he took the turn off
Okay,
and
still
then
on the river?
bluffed the river.
Okay, cool.
Jeremy using a second time bank, really thinking this through. I
This is a
think
really tough spot.
this could come down to simply I have
And
the
it's
four of
starting to
hearts
get a
that makes it
little
a
hot,
fold
but it's still,
versus
like,
if I had
you know?
2 fours without a heart, I call. We don't want
Yep.
we don't want to block hearts here, and we do as Jeremy.
It'll be fun.
I thought he was going to fold there.
He's gonna make the call. Joe's gonna be very happy about it.
Joe did a great job pricing him in.
I think
Jeremy feels a little owned right now. I
Jeremy
think.
convinced himself that Joe was not raising a 1-pair hand on the
Right.
flop.
Right. So it's like pocket sixes or almost nothing. I guess pocket deuces.
I mean, it could be any 2-pair combination. It's Joe.
you know what? And he was in the big blind even more so.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That actually makes it a little more problematic. He has more value than a lot of other players might have.
Yeah,
They're mostly on
definitely.
the river
Even in the
last
big
month,
blind, like
so.
he's calling queen six off. We know that.
Oh, for sure. He's calling Queen 6 off under the gun. So
Right.
yeah.
He's VPIP Joe.
Yeah, so hopefully get drunk camp.
What was the other nickname we had for him? Oh, the lion, the scorpion, and the frog, Joe.
The scorpion and the frog, Joe. You have to add the Joe.
Yeah, otherwise it's not really a nickname.
Nighttime is.
I don't think that's how it works.
It's a title otherwise.
Like 68.
Like
so
Lord
So you say
or Sir.
So when you
or
when,
Count.
when you refer to Michael Jordan as His Airness, you say His Airness Michael, and you have to
I
say
have
that.
seen like tarantulas out there.
Well, no. But his
Watching
airness
Samples
isn't a
of Red
nickname.
Rock.
That's a title. His airness is clearly a title. His airness, Your Majesty. Come on.
Yeah,
Your Honor. Those are titles. A nickname is like, like Scorpion and Frog Joe.
Okay. I've learned a
Beep
lot.
Beep Joe.
I've been learning a lot today.
Like, what do we call Wonka?
Wonka.
Yeah, perfect. That's his name anyway. Also a nickname somehow. Stewie Younger. His name's baked into it. A lot of pocket pairs. So Stuart's just going to flop a set? Is that what's going to happen? Because he's flopped something like 7 sets?
Maybe set over set.
Seems right. Or maybe someone else will flop a set and Stuart will win anyway.
All the hands went
He
away,
did flop
but
a
we do
set.
see that Stuart flopped a set.
That is absolutely insane.
He's unstoppable.
Wheel does have a gut shot to the nuts.
He does.
This wouldn't be the worst time to lead as Wheel. Oh, he's under the gun. Was he the original opener?
Yeah,
I thought
he
Stuart was the original raiser.
He was the opener.
Okay, well then I actually don't hate continuing here as Wheel. But if he was in the big blind, I sort of like a lead also.
He already checked, and
Yeah.
Stuart's going to bet.
So it's like, oh, I flopped
Joe
another.
might call, and if he doesn't, Sam might call. Can't see Joe. There he is.
I don't know with the guys behind them. I don't know if they can really call.
But Joe likes to call
Yeah.
from time to time. But it looks like not this time. Good fold.
It's like the State of the Union.
Sam feels obligated to call here.
I think Wheel should probably consider calling as well.
Absolutely, he should.
He is not going to. There are 2 hearts on the board at
There are.
least.
As
Sam
it turns
is
out,
so far behind.
yeah, he needs a heart.
That is
Well-
a great card, though.
Yeah.
He turns double gutted somehow,
And 7-9 got there, so it's going to be a little scary for Stewart.
but only a little scary. There's not too much to be afraid of.
3-4 got there also. That's less likely than 7-9. Sam blocks 3-4, so he could decide to rep it if he
I
wants.
can't really imagine Stewart not betting, though, assuming Sam checks to him.
It'd be kind of cool if Sam bet. Oh, he already checked. It says Sam bet 300. That is untrue. Stewart bet 300.
What's her name?
Carol, and I hope she falls off the cliff.
Carol.
So she had this one on there. She was there.
Maybe the cliff will do our job for us, you know?
So weird spot for Sam here. He just the double
He's gonna
gutters.
call.
You think sometimes he's ahead, not too often. He's got some draw equity as well. He doesn't have any. He does have a heart in his hand, I guess. And a heart comes in. Will Sam rep it? This is the play, I think. If you're gonna do it now, it's easy because we can see Stewart's hand, and I don't know if it would work anyway. But this is the play, right? He doesn't.
No, he's just hoping that he was hoping Stewart had the flush draw. And now,
Right.
now it's Armageddon. So I don't think Sam's calling a bet anyway.
Will Stewart bet the river and try and go for thin?
I don't think
value
you
here?
can bet the river. I don't think you can do it.
What does Sam have that he can call on the river with?
Another set. That's.
You think he'd fast play that somewhere along
Yeah.
the way?
I feel like
Usually.
it's a check. I think kind of a sad check.
Yeah. Wait, he's thinking about it. It is so hard to get value. You need Sam to have like 10-8, but you block that. So
10-6 maybe.
10-6 maybe.
But there was a raise pre-flop.
he
Sam's in
called
the big-
300 on the turn. He's not calling with 10-6 on the turn for 300. He needs more than that. He needs to have some equity besides
Maybe,
that.
but I mean, if he's putting Stewart on flush draws,
But if Sam didn't have a double gutter, I don't know if he was going to call it.
right?
He was putting
I
his front
agree.
flush. So we're really not sure what to do here.
It's okay to use all these time banks because we're pretty close to the end of the session.
I can't imagine Sam would ever pay Stewart off when the 10 of hearts comes. But Stewart, of course, doesn't know that. Stewart's trying to think, what can pay me off? Yeah, it's really hard to come up with
lets it.
anything.
Sam's like, I know I lose.
I'm just saying it's bizarre.
Oh, yeah, sure, a set. Stewart continues to just up
Not really. Yeah.
the winning. He's up to $8.7 thousand in
He's
front of him.
approaching 5 figures just sitting in front of him there.
That's pretty amazing for a 4-hour session.
Yeah.
He's run about as hot as you can run, in fairness.
Oh yeah.
He's certainly played well, but he has run
And there it
super
is,
hot.
6.3K. He's up. Certainly,
Wow.
biggest winner in Poker Time history
Yeah, for a single session.
for a single session.
No
Great.
question about it.
I'm not talking to Wheel.
Now, unsurprisingly, almost everyone is down on the session. Wonka and Jeremy are up a bit, but everyone else is funding Stewart's his new TV, his sofa,
Yeah.
his rent,
Nobody else I can put to a decision.
burgers on a Saturday night, whatever Stewart wants. Basically, Stewart can have, thanks to these chumps.
Whatever Stewart wants, Stewart gets.
That's the name. That sounds
there
like,
like
a good
a-
jingle for like a
No, isn't there like
sitcom.
a song like Lola wants? Like whatever Lola wants.
There's a song called Lola, but it ain't like that.
Are you thinking of Layla?
Nope.
Oh.
I'm thinking of Lola by the Kinks.
Okay.
Lola, Lola, Lola.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty famous.
I've heard it. It's not as famous as Layla, but
They're both pretty famous.
it's famous. But it's not the most famous L space L-A song.
L space L-A. Lola
Well-
only has one space.
Well, I'm adding it because Layla's more important, and that has 2. Anyway, Wheel has Ace King.
And he's going to put in the raise.
Looks like a race, yeah.
I think the only caller we might get from here is
Joe. Joe's
maybe
calling.
Zach will talk himself
Oh,
into
it's
it
a
also.
tiny raise.
Oh.
I think everybody's gonna call.
Oh, never mind.
Jeremy
can't fold.
Jeremy has kind of a crappy hand for the situation, but
He's still not going to fold
So
for
cheap.
55 with 200 in there. There's no way. He knows he's in trouble. He knows he's going to need to flop well. Oh, wow. He just,
it's a trouble hand. King Jack
without
off.
question, and it was in trouble. Now, these guys should all be
Zach
calling.
folds. What? Zach
That
folding
feels like a
8-6 of hearts
mistake.
is crazy.
Joe has an easy call with Queen 10 of clubs for just 55 more.
Somehow that got 2 of the 3 remaining players out.
Joe gets 4-1, closing the action in position.
And look
Zach
at this.
would have flopped
Zach
it.
would have flopped 2 pair.
Joe flops pretty well. Wheel is going to continue and get some bad news when VPip Joe doesn't immediately throw his hand away.
Wheel's strange sizing was bailed out by Zach's strange fold.
Yep. Maybe if Jeremy calls, it's easier for Zach to call too.
Well, sure, but still.
I'm just saying, like. But of course, it doesn't really matter. Joe's gonna outflop. Oh, it wasn't gonna outflop everyone. We don't know what would happen. Joe might beat Wheel. Sorry, might beat Zach. Might not. We'll never know.
Well, Zach would have likely won.
So we really might know. I say we'll never know. Like we may absolutely get to the river here and find out who.
He
would
just
win.
calls the pot size bet here.
Yeah,
which
sure.
Makes all the sense in the world.
Picks
Jack
up a
on the
gut shot.
turn.
So both of them pick up a gut shot actually.
Yep.
You don't love it as Joe.
No,
If Wheel bets again,
No,
will Wheel bet again?
he does this a lot and then doesn't bet. That's often when he wants his
He
opponent
does
to check,
check.
and that's the classic move.
But I know exactly how far I've hit my pitching away to my 7-iron, everything.
Wheel has 1.5 pots back, not even.
Like what? Like if you just showed him.
So if Joe bets here, he can't fold, I don't think, reasonably. That's 400, and the game has to be to call the shove now, even though it's not a great spot if he shoves.
This, this year, 2019, right?
Yeah, I've been meaning to go out. I almost went out on Sunday, but
I don't see how Wheel can continue here.
No, I think this is game over.
I think
for
he could have
Wheel.
bet the turn, but he can't check call the turn. And I don't think check raising has got a lot of, a lot of
uses
good
it.
times behind it.
No, it says he folded, but he didn't.
It looked like a fold.
He used a time card.
He threw away something. It just was a time card. It was a card. I'm giving Carol the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, Carol. You're fine. There's no way he's moving in. There's no way.
He did it.
Oh, my goodness. And Joe
just snap
insta-called.
calls.
Joe had a plan, followed the plan. Nice job, Joe.
Wow.
Joe does have a bunch of cards to dodge.
That was an interesting move by Wheel.
I
actually
don't hate it.
I don't hate it either. I think it was pretty.
I think that's
pretty
going to work
interesting.
against a lot of Joe's range, actually. Probably. Maybe. Maybe not.
No, I was just.
Wheel still has a solid 9 outs here, but he
And the
misses.
9 completes a straight for Joe, and I think that's going to do it for Wheel.
Wheel looks like he is done.
Only about 10 minutes left in the session, so
Wheel had a very poor. Stuart had an incredible session, the best session we've ever seen anyone have. Will's having one of the worst sessions we've seen someone have.
yeah, it was very bad.
He definitely got beat about the face and hands.
What's that from?
I don't know.
And the empty chair, a signal of sadness.
Doesn't have to be.
But it is this time.
It could be respect
Respect for who?
for Wheel.
The dearly departed Wheel.
Yeah, we didn't fill the chair with someone else. Imagine if someone else immediately sat down in that chair. That's disrespectful.
It's true.
You can't sit down in an open seat.
Especially if it was a younger person than Wheel.
In a tournament, I never sit down. If someone busts and they move me to a table and someone had just busted out that seat, I never sit down. in it.
You show deference. You're like, no.
Yeah,
I'll wait.
I'll wait until that kid is completely out of the tournament area, so he doesn't have to see this. That's just manners. I was raised right by my mappy and my pappy. All right, Joseph.
Joseph's gonna he's gonna hear Mappy.
I don't know, man. All right, Zach very reasonably is going to call it 9-8 off here. I mean, for
Sure, why not?
yeah, exactly.
Why not? Mappy would do it.
My mappy and my pappy. We have a podcast if you enjoy this humor, by the way. It's the Breakdown Poker podcast presented by the Poker Guys. Pocket 7's still in the lead.
I don't think it's a stretch to say it's the best podcast on the internet.
Certainly the best poker podcast. I think everyone would agree with that. Stuart's got a pair but throws it away. And we are down to 2.
There's the 3 beginning a straight draw for Joseph.
Stuart would have once again taken the lead and would have probably won another pot, but
He feels bad for these guys, you know?
yeah. Joseph's going to bet.
Tough
And-
spot for Joe.
I think he does. Don't you think?
70 to 90.
Sizing it up a bit, and looks like Joe's not believing this time. Just feeling good about picking off Wheel, I think, and
Real good.
he's right.
Feeling real good.
Will Joseph take one more shot? Joseph does, of course, have the back door,
So
and
there
if a
are 2,
diamond
3,
comes
and he's
in,
coming back
he's
to
got a
LA, I
nut
guess,
blocker,
right?
a nutish blocker.
There's
But he
a
also
king. That'll
Just
work.
takes the lead.
Gotta bet this.
Nope.
Oh, he's gonna check.
He is losing to King Queen, but come on.
What's the bet, bud? You know, bet. You know, bet.
What in the world could Joe be betting?
I don't know what to do against this guy.
Nice hand.
Dead button.
I'm not sure what Joe would bet there. That he goes call. What, if it was just calling the turn, he could have diamonds, but he's a lot of queens. That's just going to check back, right?
And he doesn't have the king X of diamonds because Joseph has the king of diamonds in his hand.
Yeah. I guess he could turn a hand like sevens into a bluff to try and get a queen to fold, but I don't know if it would
Seems
work.
unlikely.
Like, what kings does he have himself?
Yeah, I think Joseph's supposed to bet there.
I think so. I don't think he was going to get value anyway. Joe is probably going to fold. Probably.
Got their own turn in that. All right, Jeremy, that's it. No, you're opening yourself up. I mean, you're my dude. But
9 deuce, we've seen Joseph play aggressively with this hand before. Not this time.
He thought about it. Wonka, we really haven't seen get involved for a while. He just hasn't had any hands.
He's got his ranges that he plays from his positions, and he hasn't had the hands.
He doesn't deviate, which is, winning poker. Let's be clear.
If depending on what your ranges
Whatever
are
your
for-
range is, winning poker.
as long as you stick to it.
Mm-hmm. You have a strategy, you stick to it, you're going to win. It's a guarantee.
Yep.
I teach a class on this stuff if you guys want to know more. $1,000.
Smart.
20-minute class.
It's basically just saying,
Yeah, it's basically just stick to your strategy.
just stay saying that.
Stay in your lane.
But you should pay the $1,000 to
You
hear
got to
him
pay
say
the
it.
$1,000 because
Come on,
it's an experience.
you guys all should just Venmo the $1,000 because you just got the class.
I mean, you're welcome. Thousands of listeners. 1,000 times 1,000 is a lot of money.
It's more than 1,000, man. It's good stuff.
Oh my God, it is Oh, we're gonna be rich.
He didn't win a tournament. He didn't like bring it
Okay.
up to the table.
Middle pair for Joe with the gutter and Sam with top pair. Sam not going anywhere.
How you not getting sympathy for your dog dying? What kind of cold ass mofo
what
are
is this,
you?
some type of support group?
You're coming up on the end of this session. Players definitely know that.
Yep.
Sometimes that changes ranges and what people do at the end.
Should've
See
stayed
if it
home.
affects anything.
9 doesn't change anything between these two guys.
Come to Meadows and call me
8-10 comes in, bro. The double gutter. But yeah, that's
I don't know if you heard what I said, but it's fine. Check. And the 7 on the river gives Sam 2 pair.
Sam can.
I guess Carol's just done cutting to the flop.
Carol does not care. She's like, my name is Carol. It's right there in the name. I don't have to care anymore. Sam definitely has to value bet this. And this would be a reasonable spot for VPip Joe to call.
Absolutely. Oh, big bet.
What?
though.
Never mind.
It's a
Holy moly.
pot size bet.
Well, that should shrink up his what he's calling. He should still be calling a fair amount.
I don't hate the bet from Sam. I think Joe's probably calling with any ace anyway.
Sam's got to like it just that Joe is thinking about it. That's always a good sign.
Yeah, and also that he didn't snap call or raise.
Well, if he's,
He could still raise, but he started talking, and usually people don't do that. Although it would be effective.
well, yeah.
I do think that my immediate facial reaction on that hand is
We haven't seen Sam make very many of these pot-sized bets, so
quickly, but I
It was a nice fold by Joe there.
disgusted face.
if he was making a lot of them, I think it's easier to
That
call.
will be interesting because
But-
when you call it quickly, I know it's beat.
Usually the first one gets through.
Yeah.
Nobody look at the empty chair. It's disrespectful. I'm talking to the viewers. Look near it, but not at it.
Stuart almost did, but he's okay anyway. He's the big winner. He can do whatever he
Yeah,
wants.
but do you think how many of the viewers do you think looked at the empty chair though?
Well, when you said don't look at it, I'm sure more of them looked at
And
it.
that was disrespectful of them. And look, Zach has 1%, but we know that's a lie.
Yeah, it's only because of that forced blind raise that one time.
Sam raising a quarter of the pots. That's actually quite a bit.
Well, he's been isolating like
Yeah.
crazy.
Stuart and Joseph right there behind. Stuart because he's had a ton of good hands.
Yeah.
Never.
He's also just the flop has been his friend.
And the turn and the river.
It's nice to have
Zach.
sessions
Oh,
like this.
Zach raised.
He did it. You owe me $5.
That sucks.
It's like the last hand.
That
This
is
is the
so-
last hand.
That is so brutal.
$5. I don't need. You know what? Everyone, keep your 1,000 for that course. I'm happy with this $5 from Grant. It's the sweetest of all monies. I'm buying myself some ice cream.
Gonna pick on me?
Rocky Road.
Well, I gotta defend with
You're gonna have to use that $5 for liposuction.
What? That's what you're not gonna do. I
you
checked this out.
talking trash?
Check the
Yeah,
flop.
because you're gonna
No,
be.
ain't no bump. I checked
you know.
the flop to him.
Hey, 3 spades for Zach. That's a pretty good flop.
Pretty
We
good.
don't know what
Goes
Joseph has. We just
Open
Nope.
ender as well now for Zach.
Is there anyone?
And Zach didn't bet, by the way, which is strange.
We didn't bet originally.
Is everyone just
That is strange. He was a
Joseph-
pre-flop raiser. Is he
Joseph
raising
bets.
now? It's not crazy to raise right now.
Is he calling?
think this hand's just getting cut.
Is he calling? Joseph asks. Yes, he did. It looks like he did.
And the river is a 6. It
Six.
makes the straight for Zach.
All right.
We don't know what Joseph has.
This is a good long shot.
I don't want to chop it with you, but
Whoa. That's 600. He
Okay.
says, I don't want to chop it
I
with
think
you,
Joseph
but
has a good hand
yep.
when he did that.
Looks
and
like he
can't
has-
tell.
What does he have?
Wow. All right.
Two
It's a
tens.
chop.
because he has a spade.
Wow.
That's why.
Joseph's all upset, but he now sees that he was not in as good shape as
Well,
maybe he
that
thought.
was the last hand of our
was a
session.
cool hand.
So we have a new biggest winner of all time. We're going to get the cumulative winnings
Yeah,
up
we're
there.
going to put
I
it
bet.
up here in a second.
Show you that
There we
Stuart
go.
with
6.3. Congratulations, Stuart. Great job. I think he did start with 2.4,
I know
but
you have a big
ran it up to
spade,
almost
yeah. I know you have a
$9,000.
See what option